All righty, here we go. This is the frequency in use. All righty. If you have any emergency or priority traffic, you're welcome to break in anytime for that. Hold on one second. There we go. I had some foul up with the paper here. My name is Paul, K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net here on 146.415. Is there any emergency priority traffic? None, of course. Net may be broken at any time for that. Call 911. That's going to be your first choice. If you can't do that, call us and we'll call it for you. You can stick around and keep us posted if there was an emergency. The net normally meets on Wednesdays and Saturday nights at 8 p.m. We're also on here lots of other times, probably the most active frequency in the area on average, I'm guessing, because I don't monitor all the frequencies. It's just, we use the term arguably the most the busiest frequency in the area. The 9-1 machine may be bigger, maybe. I don't know. I don't monitor it. Anyway, for information on that, you can look at us right now on YouTube. Just look us up on YouTube, put in the search block in YouTube, my call, K4PEW. It'll bring the channel right up. It should show that we're live. You can also see our website at 146.415.net, 146.415.net. Wonderfully like our frequency, so it's hard to forget. And you can also see us on, what else? Oh, yeah, on groups, groups.io. And let's look it up under MJSS for Mount Juliet Simplex Society. It's on groups, GROUPS, India Oscar. And just you can do a search in there for MJSS. We're every Wednesday and Saturday night. As I said, we're conducting that tonight on 146.415 FM Simplex. Purpose of the net is to ultimately have fun. And in the process, we all become better at having fun and also get better in the hopefully an unlikely event that we have to communicate in an emergency basis due to a major communications failure in the area or a major disaster. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I know it's happened here like during the flood. I wasn't here, and I don't know how much emergency communication was going on, but I'm sure there was some. The purpose of the net is to have fun and help us get better. And hopefully others will do likewise, and we have. Many of us have improved. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events and activities. You can also post it to the to the group's site if you're on the thing. You can also sign up for membership, so to speak, in the mailing list, which puts you automatically in membership in the club that has no dues, no rules, mostly, and no rules, no dues, and really no meetings other than having fun on Saturday mornings, which is the second and fourth Saturday of every month, which we have one coming up next Saturday. Next Saturday? Let's see. Yeah, this week, not this past Saturday, not today. It was next Saturday. Forgot which day it is. When you're retired, you forget where you are in the week. The announcements tonight are that we're going to be doing the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. And following that, we're going to do the 2-meter upper sideband net. And then we're going to do the 6-meter net on 50 at 50.135. 50.135 upper sideband. And of course, we're doing the 2-meter net first. And the 2-meter net, we do the check-ins as we do the others now. But as quickly as we can without taking up a lot of time, because we keep on getting more and more check-ins. And I like to hear from people. We can always do that after or kind of after the net. But anyway, all we want is from you initially is just your call, your name, and your location, so everybody knows where you are. That way, they know which way to point their antenna. Or they can hear on YouTube who they're, and I also announce it, of course, on the here. But they can find out who they can't hear. And if they can hear you faintly, at least they'll know where you are, kind of. But anyway, does anybody have any questions? Or, well, also, don't forget, I have a question. Don't forget the November 7th tailgate event. November 7th tailgate event at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. $5 to get in. It starts at 8 a.m., so I'd get there early. I don't know if I expect or just hope to have a big turnout. It's not my event, but the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club put this together, and I'm thankful that they did, because I think there's a lot of interest in people showing up over there. So fill up your trunk, tailgate, or your SUV or your flatbed truck with equipment and bring it out there for sale for $5, and hopefully a big crowd will show up. I know there's a lot of interest. I think that's it on announcements that I have. Does anybody have any additional ones? Is this on? Is it? Yeah. All right. Very good. I guess we covered all the bases. Then we'll start taking check-ins. And again, it's going to be your call, your name, and your location. We're starting out today from the south, and this is net number 632. Oh, it's not a fancy number. It's just the number of nets we've been doing so far in the last 6+ years. So starting from the south, please come down.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hey, very good, Larry. Doing well?
Yes, ma'am, doing good.
Sounds good. Very good. Your signal's good. I got to turn up the volume now because I turned it down earlier.
Well, that's a good test. Go get the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Very good, Larry. That was Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, and that's Larry in Rockville. Always a good signal. Who else is south?
Kilo Mike 4 November Yankee. Bill Murfreesboro.
Hey, Bill, man of renown. You doing okay?
So it's just wonderful to stay right in the house.
I know it gets a little tiresome in ways that it didn't used to get tiresome, did it?
Used to love it. Now it's kind of getting old.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I'm reluctant to really go anywhere. It's awful. Hopefully this will dwindle down. Hopefully in the coming weeks or months. I don't know if it's going to happen. It sounds like it's not going to be till next year. Anyway, that was Bill in Murfreesboro. Kilo Mike 4 November Yankee. Yeah, I know it's maybe the Nets make us feel better. I don't know. Gives us something to do anyway. Who else is south?
Kilo 4 Oscar Fox Oscar.
Hey, Donnie, doing okay?
Doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, very good. You sound good as always. What are you doing on 6 meters tonight? On which antenna do you use?
I'm going to have to use that horizontal.
Oh, it's the horizontal dipole. Is it 4.6 or is it just a bigger antenna?
You know, it's just the same one I've been using. That's the only one that I got hooked up to that.
Well, you're close enough to me that it doesn't really matter too much unless you were just using a coat hanger or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I hadn't got anything else work except that one antenna.
All right, very good. That's Donnie in Hermitage, south of Maine, just east of Percy Priest Lake. That's Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot Oscar, the part of Hermitage that's in an odd place, south of Mount Juliet. Who else is south?
Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo Foxtrot today.
Hello, Tony. You doing well?
Any day above ground.
All right, very good. But I want to remind everybody, for children or grandchildren, Tony does a Santa net, and we're going to be, well, I say we, I will be using crossband for into probably a 70 centimeter frequency for his Santa net on Christmas Eve, in case anybody's interested in that for the children or grandchildren, or you just want to have fun yourself listening to Tony do his. He's been doing it for many years. Anyway, that's Tony. He is in Smyrna, right?
That would be correct. And oh, by the way, all you hams out there, you can check into the Santa net, even if you don't have any little. You can report reindeer sightings and strange sounds on the roof and any carrots you might put out for the reindeer. Yeah, check in. I get lonely out here.
Yeah, you heard that. You need to check in. Well, I'll give some details later, but because we get closer to Christmas. But yeah, Tony has a good time with that, and it's. I know there's people listening, but they're not necessarily communicating to him that they're listening. But anyway, he's been doing that for years. So anyway, I think you'll appreciate it. That's Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo Foxtrot Quebec, and that's Tony in Smyrna. Who else is south?
W0GZR Mark in Nashville.
Yeah, I got you written down, man. You were not here for the last net. I don't know what's going on. Mark?
Well, I forgot all about it. That's the truth.
No, I know. I'm just razzing you. We were, as I heard somebody say to me one time, it's a longer story, but it was, we're noticeable by our absence.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. And I bet it went a lot more smoothly.
Well, we had 39, so you see where you would have put us over the top.
Shame on me.
Nah, there's a lot of people that can't, for whatever reason, don't check in, and it's all good. It's all good. There's nothing, I like, people don't show up. It's their loss. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And I felt bad about it. I figured it out about 9:30. It's like crap.
No, believe me, I've done lots of things like that, including this net. My wife had to wake me up one time. She says, "Don't you have a net 10 minutes ago?" That was a little embarrassing, actually. Anyway, that's Mark in Nashville. Whiskey Zero, Golf Zulu Romeo, and really, whoever shows up, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, but it does. It's not important. I mean, I know there's obviously, all kinds of obligations: naps, dinner, outings, family issues. Who knows? Or busted radio issues. Anyway, Whiskey Zero, GZR in Nashville. That's Mark. Who else is the Sal?
The boy did.
All right, Eddie. I know you're doing all right. Are you on an HT today?
I'm running 5 watts tonight with the base.
Well, you're about full scale, so you know where you are and you know where I am, so you know why.
Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying today. It's nice outside. Got a lot done.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I got not as much done, but I did have. It was a good day though. Very good. That's Eddie. He's in Gladeville over there south of the interstate and Interstate 40. Let me qualify that. And east of Providence, a couple miles. You know where Gladeville is. Who else is south? Nothing else south. Going over to the east then.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Zulu Hotel India, James and Mount Juliet.
I think you got Richard backing off now. Doesn't even want to bother to try to double with you, James.
Oh, come on, Richard, let's duel.
Anyway, everything going well. We really do. This has created a great big hole in. You figure television should be more entertaining, and it's become less entertaining to me.
I watch some TV today too.
Well, it depends. I mean, I can only watch 4 episodes a night of Andy Griffith. That's just not enough.
Yeah, it gets old. I've probably seen them at least 3 times.
Oh, for some, it might be 4 or more. I still enjoy them. I really do. Anyway, that's James here in Mount Juliet. Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. Who else is east?
KE4TWI.
Hey, Wes. You sound good tonight.
You do too. Everything's good out here in the east. Just picked my last pumpkins of the patch. Some are still left, so all is good. KE4TWI.
You gonna let that plot lay fallow next year?
I think we got plenty of room of nutrients for next year's pumpkin.
I'm sure you do. Did you figure out what the final count was on the pumpkins?
It was 45 or 50. I forget. It wasn't what I thought it was, but hey, what do you do?
It's still a stack of pumpkins. Now, were those the kind of pumpkins you're gonna eat?
Yep, eat, carve. We've done it all.
Oh yeah, I just wondered because you can only. Well, I don't know. Did Lori Donna do any canning of those pumpkins?
Only a couple. Most of them were given away, or we carved some at a party. And it was mostly for fun. But yes, we did do a little bit of that, but it's a learning experience. Canning is a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I know. I've been there, done that. When I first went to Florida, Florida has huge acreages of soft vegetables and fruits. One of them being tomatoes, and they had it so you could go out into a tomato field that's already been commercially picked, gone over through 3 or 4 times by the commercial pickers, and whatever was left in the fields on the vine, you could go into the fields and pick as many as you wanted. And it was, at the time, it was like $1 a bushel. Maybe it was $2, but it wasn't very much. And your eyes get bigger than your ability to work. And I must have brought home, me and my first wife brought home 3 or 4 bushels. We spent most of one day just canning.
You're making me hungry. Tomatoes are great. All right, everything's good out here. KE4TWI.
Yeah, very good. That's Wes in near Watertown, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey, India. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I wondered after that, dollar or whatever it was a bushel, where all the poor people won who could get tomatoes for essentially almost nothing. And here we are. We weren't really. I was poor by today's standards, but I didn't have to get tomatoes at $1 a bushel or whatever it was. Who else is east?
KM4OJK. Early Hillary.
Oh boy, I had a quadruple or a quintuplet there. I did hear the one that came in, I know for sure, and I heard Earl in there, but I also heard what came in first was a KM4 Oscar Juliet Kilo. What's the name of the location there?
Good evening, KM4OJK. The name is Brad, and I'm in Mount Juliet visiting.
Oh, very good. You on a HT or what?
Yep, I'm on a Volkswagen HT standing in the backyard.
Yeah, very good. What part of Mount Juliet are you in? I think you might know where I am. I'm behind the Walmart. Kind of in that corner between the interstate and Mount Juliet behind Walmart.
Well, that's a pretty good range, I would say. I'm on Galen Marie Road, and wish I could tell you more. We're not far from the interstate as the crow flies. Any idea where we're at? You know?
I don't know. I don't know where Galen Marie Road is. I'd have to look it up myself. Anybody know where Galen Marie Road is?
Yeah, that's I'm on Galen Marie too. Before yet.
Okay, so he's in the southeast corner over there of Mount Juliet, correct? Yeah, you'd be behind where the mall is, Providence, or east of the mall. Brad?
No, we're further than that. The exit off the interstate is Buckwald, something like that.
Buckwald doesn't ring a bell, but I think you're speaking of what is the name of that exit? It's not Buckwald.
No, but it starts with a B. Beckwith Road.
Yeah, I think it's Beckwith.
Yes, I was close.
Well, you're at a slightly less advantage than I am because I've been here for 9 years, and I don't get out much because I'm retired, and I don't know any of the roads. Beckwith rings a bell. I know where that is. I'm kind of ignorant about most of the locations around here. Well, good to have you in the net. Where are you from, Brad?
I live over in Loudoun County, about two and a half hours east of here, outside of Knoxville, visiting our daughter's house and dog sitting while they go out and have fun.
Ah, very good. Yeah, East Tennessee is very nice. Loudon, I'd have to look, but that's not all the way over past. Well, just tell me where it is because I don't know where it is in relationship to, like where Gatlinburg is.
Well, we're before Knoxville. If you look at Knoxville, we're about 45 minutes southeast of there. Not far from the tail of the dragon.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I wasn't sure where that. I barely know the counties around here. I do know them, but Loudon, I wasn't sure about it all. Well, very good. Good to have you on the net, and I'm glad you found. How'd you find out about us?
I don't know. I just searching the internet looking for amateur repeaters in the Nashville area, with repeater book and things like that. And somewhere I saw that you have a Simplex net on Saturdays at 8 o'clock, and just been waiting for an opportunity to try it. And I do see there's another ham here on Gale Marie. I haven't met him yet. Sounds like he's on the air now.
Yeah, that would be Eddie. That's Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray. He's got a tower over there, real good elevation, and he's only running 5 watts. And I think you heard him, so I'm sure you did actually. But yeah, no, it's easy. We've been doing this now this is our 7th year on this frequency doing this net. And if you do, I found that I didn't look myself until after I had a visitor come through and he's talking on the air and I said, "How'd you find out about us?" Because I did a search for Mount Juliet Simplex, and we were top of the list if you looked it up.
Well, that's excellent. I never thought of trying to put together a Simplex net, but it's a cool idea. Eddie, I'm down at 9:04, so we'll have to get together and shake hands or bump elbows.
Yeah, that's right, Eddie. Did you hear that?
Yeah, okay. Glad to meet you. I'm at 9:18, so maybe I'll catch you outside one day before we yet. All right. Well, thanks again for letting me partake in your net, and I'll let you move forward. KM4 OJK monitoring.
Yeah, very good, Brad. And just so when you go back to Loudoun County, I started this net a little over 6 years ago in September of 2014, and I decided I just thought I was in a good location, good elevation, decent antenna, so to speak, at the time, and I started the net, notified about 40 people that I didn't even know off of QRZ that I stole all their email addresses off of it. And I had zero. I was the only one on the net that night. Then the next net, I might have had 2 or 3. And then the next net, we had ended up for about 4 years averaging 12, 14 people a night. But now after a while, now we average over maybe 32 every twice a week.
Unbelievable. What other night do you have it?
Both Wednesday night and Saturday night, 8 p.m. Same place. Well, the same place, same frequency, same time, just different days.
All right. Well, I might steal your idea. Who knows? Go back to Loudon with it.
Oh no, it's a lot of fun, and it's a lot. We have breakfast. We go right now because of we started going to the park twice a month for just coffee and donuts on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And we also get on the air all times during the day and evening, and it's become quite a community of people on ham radio that like Simplex and improve their stations so that they can talk. Like my footprint here from where I am is about 45 miles, radius. So I cover, a great deal of Middle Tennessee, and it really is nice to be able to do that.
Well, 45 miles is fantastic. I spent a career with Motorola. We never promised anybody 45 miles. I live in a development called Tellico Village. I don't know if you've heard of it or not. So we do have restrictions as far as what we can do, and I have an antenna in the attic, nothing outside. I have an HF antenna in the trees outside, but yeah, it's nice not having too brutal of restrictions.
Oh, for sure. But as you know, yeah, you can't promise anything in RF. But where I am on this little what they call Mount Juliet, and it's not really it's not really snow-capped mountain, but it's high enough where I'm sitting on this hill where I have excellent, propagation going in almost all directions all the time. A little worse to the south, going too far south, but I'm excellent to the east and the north and to the west. I cover all of Nashville, and it's really great just due to the elevation and the fact that I got a nice antenna. But anyway, Brad, need to move on. That was Kilo Mike 4 Oscar Juliet. Kilo, he's from Loudoun County visiting Mount Juliet, and he's going to take it back and put together Simplexnet in Loudoun County and over in East Tennessee. We do need more. And in fact, just so you'll know, Brad, there have been some other, another guy who liked the net. He decided he'd start a Simplexnet up in near Bowling Green for Southern Kentucky, and that's been going on for at least a year. And I know that I had also got some subscribers in Pennsylvania as well as in California, and there might be somebody else, but who latched onto the idea, and they got on our mailing list to keep posted on how we're doing, and so it's worked out very well. Anyway, Earl, I heard you in there.
Yeah, I made it on time today. Imagine that.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't the first time you've made it on time, but yeah, I get it. So how you doing?
I'm doing good. Just tinker in the yard and practicing my carpenter skills. How's things on the big city of Mount Juliet?
Yeah, the big metropolis. I think the census is going to come in at 40,000 this year. I really do. No, it's going great. Going great. Weather's good and everything's fine.
Okay, cool deal. I'll let it go at that. Hope you didn't get frost on the pumpkin, but if so, it'll be time for pumpkin pie. KE4 to DC 730 on the net.
Yeah, very good. That's Earl and Noreen over there east of the Cedars of Lebanon Park. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Who else was east?
W4 MUL.
Hold on, I heard a weak station in there. Let me take Jimmy in here first. Whiskey 4 Mike Uniform Foxtrot. Everything going well?
Yeah, done pretty good, Paul. I posted a picture of the MJSS heading, and it's about antenna analyzer readout. Having a little problem on trying to understand what they're telling me. So, if anybody wants to take a look at that, I'd appreciate it.
All right, were you able to hear that that visitor KM4OJK on his HT?
I don't believe I did, no, sir.
Okay, just curious if you were able to hear he was coming up that far north. Dang, I got a new cat and she won't stay off of the desk here. Hold on. Anyway, I just laid down. Anyway, that's Jimmy. He's in Northeast Mount Juliet, Whiskey 4, Mike Uniform Foxtrot, and he take a look at the email. There should be one about how his antenna analyzer display worked out for an antenna. So if you have any comments, he'd appreciate them. Who else is east out there? There was a weak station out there. Who was that? All right, you're really jumping around. And hold on one second. All right, let's try that one more time. I opened up the squelch a little bit. All right, is anybody else copying that station? Because it's really choppy to me and I can't copy it well.
It's Richard in Huntsville.
Richard in Huntsville. Oh my gosh. Very good, Huntsville. Richard. And when did you catch the call?
It's Hartsville.
Oh, Hartsville. That sounds better. Well, would I have to had a QSO with a fellow in Huntsville simply. But Richard in Huntsville. What's the call on Richard? Did you catch it?
I think it was something LFT.
Was that Lima Foxtrot Tango?
I believe that was right.
The Hartsville station. Were you copying anybody besides me?
He said he can hear someone in Lebanon real well.
All right. Well, I'm not copying who it was, so I'm not sure what the call is.
Hey, let me try. I'm in Watertown. This is Wes, KE4TWI. Who's the Hartsville station again? That's Rich.
All right. I'm not copying anything at this point. Are you copying something, Wes?
It was Rich in Hartsville.
Yeah, but I'm not sure who that is. The call. The call. Well, Rich, if you would email me, if you can hear me, this is K4PEW and ARRL.net. K4PEW. Richard, if you would just verify that for me. I believe we've talked before, but the conditions are really terrible to Hartsville tonight. Anyway, that was Richard in Hartsville, and I don't know the call, so let's move on. Who else is east? Now that one I'm copying just fine there, Stan.
Yeah, he was real copy from me too, but I did hear his name, but I couldn't make up the call.
All right. Everything going good for you?
Pretty well, Paul. How about you?
Good. Is your neck being any better?
I think it's getting better. Doctor told me to keep doing the exercises, and if it got worse, I'd try another steroid shot.
Yeah, no, it's funny how I know in my case with my shoulder problem that I had from the accident, it has taken, this will be 3 years, and it's actually slowly, and I mean slowly over a 3-year period gotten better, but it's not perfect, but it's taken 3 years to work out the kinks in that shoulder.
Yeah, that's a long time. The shoulder surgery is real painful, and it takes a while to get over them. My aunt had shoulder surgery. It took her forever to get over it.
Well, mine was weird because I never heard anybody breaking a scapula. Yeah, scapula. And that's what I did, and it busted. And all they did was, they just put you in a sling, and you just can't use it for 2 or 3 months. And that plus the bruising I got from my shoulder hitting that guy's windshield. That who knows how fast? I don't know how fast it was. Just messed up that shoulder for a long time. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's still certain circumstances I can still feel it. But 90 something% I'm in good shape. But anyway, Stan, good to have you in there. I hope things keep improving on that neck issue. That's Stan in Lebanon, Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is east? Nobody else east or north? East or north? Please come in.
WB0 in a row, Mark in Northwest Wilson.
All right, got you in there, Mark. Everything all right?
Doing good. Been in the garage under a car all day.
Boy, were you just hiding or working?
My daughter dropped off her 20-year-old toy car and said, "Dad, I can't get in the trunk."
Can't get in the trunk?
Yeah, the actuator broke and stuck the latch. Ended up having to drill a hole behind the emblem and stick a coat hanger in there to jimmy it loose.
Huh. You couldn't get access through the back seat at all?
It's a two-seater.
Oh, I guess you can't get access when there ain't no back seat.
Yeah. Plus, I don't fit inside it very well.
No, I know in mine, that one Chrysler I had, you could only open it with, from inside the car. No, let me think about that now. But anyway, in order to open it, if you didn't have if your battery went dead, or if you didn't have the remote, I had to take out, I could fold down one of the seats in the back and use a coat hanger and pull that emergency latch inside the trunk.
Yeah, I couldn't even find an emergency latch. I got to look again. But once I finally got it open with the help of YouTube, I expected to see a latch in there, but I didn't see one.
Yeah, YouTube may be the greatest resource for silly things on the planet. You know that?
Yep, it is. Okay, well, enjoying the net.
All right, very good, Mark. That's Mark in Northwest Wilson by the Weather Bureau. Well, it's actually the National Weather Service, their radar station, and it's where they send up balloons up into the air every day. It's kind of a neat place. Anyway, that's Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. Who else is north?
Daniel, Mount Juliet.
All right, Daniel, hold on one second. I got you doubled. You got two. You didn't double. You guys doubled, but I think that was Frank up there, wasn't it?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, switch to the headset so I can hear better. I don't know how the heck. I guess my ears ringing real bad. I heard he said Hartsville and I said Huntsville, but I couldn't hear. I've been working on a motorcycle and it's really loud, this thing, and I had to ride it to break in the engine. So apologize about that. But you've talked to Huntsville before, so.
Oh yeah, no, I have. That's why it didn't surprise me too much. Anyway, now, by the way, that microphone on that headset is great.
Oh, good. Yeah, it should be the same as my regular Heil. It's supposed to be the same element, but sometimes the headset, I can certainly hear better with it.
No, it's a very crisp, excellent audio. It just seems to be pretty broad. It's got broad spectrum of frequencies on it, so it really sounds natural. In fact, it's good enough that I can. I don't know what room you're in, but I can also hear it's so sensitive that I can also hear some reverberation off the walls.
Yeah, it's a bedroom, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah, anyway. Sounds good though. Yeah, I know I've got is that the one for Icon or which one is it?
Yeah, it's the Heil ProSet Elite for Icon.
Oh yeah, they require a different element for the Icon than the Yaesus or the Kenwoods.
Yeah, it uses a condenser mic instead of a real mic. But if you use a real mic, you can make a preamp for it. So then it sounds real good as well.
Well, the condenser mics aren't too shabby. I mean, most professional mics are a condenser mic.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But that's Icon decided to stick with it forever and ever with the condenser mics. So you got to use with the like I said, unless you make an amplifier, which I don't know. I think Mark might have done that if I recall.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I've got a dynamic mic. I think you already knew that though, but I have a dynamic mic I'm using. I need the tube preamp to use. I used to have to use it on the 897 Yaesu, and I also, because of the mic requirements or the features, I guess I'll say, the specs, and I also have to use it for the Alinco and the Kenwood. I use the preamp because it just the radio does those two radios don't like the microphone.
Yeah, I heard you. That's right. You were messing with it the other day, a few weeks ago, on the Alinco, I think it was. But yeah, normally I use this for like the HF contest stuff and field day, and I like using the boom mic. But when my hearing starts to get goofy, sometimes either if I got a cold or ringing or something, I'll switch to the headset.
I'll tell you what, that Heil Pro Set, when you got that on, there could be a tornado going by the house next door. You wouldn't hear it.
Well, that's not good either. But yeah.
No, it's really an over the ear, and boy, does it block out everything. Anyway, that was Frank. He's in Northwest Wilson, Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Kilo. Daniel, I heard you in there. Sorry for the delay.
No problem. Just sitting here listening to the net. 73s, everybody.
You can only take so much. That's why I like to limit it to an hour. Anyway, that was Daniel, and he's in here in Mount Juliet. Alpha 4 Delta Echo. Good signal, but you couldn't have anything else from your location. Did you say you were still waiting on putting up an antenna?
Yeah, I've got this 510. I'm almost caught up with all my chores, and hopefully I can get it done in a week or two.
I'll tell you, I think you'll be delighted with the 510 because I hear so many good things. I don't have one, but I got it's Big Brother, but the 510 I've heard such good reports from those that own them.
Well, it sure is pretty laying here in the floor, so that's about all I know about it right now.
Just laying there, it's picking up RF, but it can't tell you anything.
Yeah, I think it's doing better than that 5812.
Oh, probably may be. I can't wait for you to get that up, really. If you need help, let me know.
I might take you up on that.
All right, very good. That was Daniel, Alpha 4 Delta Echo, and he's here in Mount Juliet waiting to put up a X510, diamond antenna. Who else is north? Anybody else north?
KN4 FAX Otis Hendersonville.
Very good, Otis. You're doing well, I hope.
Everything is going good.
Fantastic. You're one of the youngest members. No, actually not the youngest. You're probably one of the elder statesmen of the net, I think. Anyway, that's Otis. He's in Hendersonville. He's 90 something. He doesn't like to divulge his age. Who else is north?
Whiskey 4 Delta Tango Charlie. David here in Gallatin.
Hey, David. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I could hear that Hartsville station pretty good here. He was actually S9 Richard Hartsville, and I'm not in front of a computer, so I couldn't really check, but it sounded to me like Kilo Charlie 2 Lima Mike Tango. Somebody wants to try and look that one up.
Kilo Mike Tango? Could be. Yeah, I try not to do that while I'm on the air, looking up calls. It would make it a lot longer. All right, very good, David. Everything going well with you up there in Gallatin?
Yeah, it's going real good, Paul. Thanks for calling in that. Back to you, W4DTC.
Yeah, very good, David. That was David in Gallatin, Whiskey 4 Delta Tango Charlie. If anybody else has any updates on that, the station from Hartsville, I'd like to know who that is. It was Rich in Hartsville, and we think it's Kilo Charlie 2 Kilo Mike Tango. I'm not sure about that. I know I've talked to him before. I'd have to look it up though. Anyway, if anybody take a look and look that up, maybe you can find a Richard in Hartsville. Maybe there's not too many. Anyway, anybody else north?
That was Rich. His last tree is left front tire.
I think you're right. That's what I said in my mind, but I don't trust my mind anymore about my memory thing. LFT. You're right. It is LFT. I've forgotten about that. And so you think it's Kilo Charlie 2 LFT? Somebody looked that up. Kilo Charlie 2 LFT or Kilo Charlie 4 LFT. But if you look on the Hartsville, you go in QRZ and you just put in Hartsville, H-A-R-T, Harts, S-V-I-L-L-E, and then hit, instead of using the call, you just use the address and hit the button, and I'll bet it comes up in probably only one LFT is listed.
It is Richard R. And it is KC2 LFT. KVN ticket.
Very good. KC2 LFT. Okay, we got that straight. In case you're listening, Richard, we got it straightened out after much labor here. Kilo Charlie 2 Lima Foxtrot Tango. Very good. Appreciate the help on that, Frank. Who else is? Where was I? North. Nobody else north, or how about west?
Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, Mike in Belshire, and KG4 SSF.
All right. Well, you heard him in there, or are you doing a relay for him?
Yeah, he's on the HC. I'm doing a relay.
Okay, so we got Charles, and he's in that vicinity, I guess, up there in your neck of the woods.
He's in Smyrna.
Ah, okay, very good. Charles in Smyrna, Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot Foxtrot on an HT, and Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. And I can't believe you could hear him from Smyrna. I didn't.
My hearing is hypersensitive since the surgery.
Yeah, it must be the drugs. All right, very good. At least they're legal drugs. Anyway, that was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He is in Belshire, which is northeast Nashville. And of course, Charles, Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot Foxtrot on an HT in Smyrna. Doesn't get out all that well. Who else is north?
WY4G.
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
I'm tired, just trying to unwind after a busy week, but here I am.
You think it's gotten any busier for you in your line of work?
It hasn't changed that much. It's always kind of busy.
Yeah, I was, I don't know. I don't think I could do that job. Not because it's necessarily a really hard job. I mean, it's hard enough, but it's dealing with all those people every day would drive me crazy.
Well, learn how to ignore that. You got to just deal with the others outside your little zone there. You just got to, that's what I stay focused on.
Well, yeah, the most important thing is obviously what you're doing, driving a city bus. It's just that I would think it would be, I guess you learn to not be annoyed by any of it.
Yeah, I learn how to tune things out, and sometimes it comes in handy.
Hey, which reminds me, I think I have the movie. I got to look again, but there was that movie about in Paterson, New Jersey, and it was, of course, a fictional movie, but it was about a guy who drove a bus and what his life was like. It was kind of interesting. It was very interesting, as a matter of fact.
I don't recall that, but tell about one man about tuning things out is here at home, whatever. It kind of comes second nature, and I will just learn how to do that. I'm quite good at it.
Yeah, probably too good.
Yeah, I believe so. Kind of like expert status.
Well, the name of the movie, if you look it up, I believe is called Paterson, Paterson, I believe. Let me look up 1 second. Well, I don't see it right here, but yeah, I do too. Yeah, it's Paterson, and it's really an interesting movie. It would sound, necessarily you don't think of, any particular job is that interesting, but this one, they made it very interesting. He's a bus driver for the city of Paterson, New Jersey. Look it up, Paterson, Paterson.
Okay, well, I get the next time I turn the computer on, if I can remember it, we'll do that. I don't have it on right now.
Oh no, I get you. It might be on. I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime or Netflix. I have no idea. I saw it. I don't know. We might have bought the DVD. I don't know. I just know it was a decent movie. Stuck in my mind because it was so well done. Anyway, that was Jeff in Madison, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. Who else is north or west? There was a double or triple in there, but I did catch Chris, and that's Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Everything well?
Yep, doing good. How about you?
Good. Were you out there flying today?
Absolutely. It was a great day to be outside.
Awesome. Yeah, it was sunny and a little breezy, but not too bad.
Yeah, it was. The wind wasn't as cold as I thought it would be, so it was shockingly. You just want to stay out there.
Well, it's funny to me because being retired, I don't have to get dressed up, and I'm usually in shorts and a tank top or a t-shirt, sandals or no shoes, and sometimes sneakers and no socks, and sometimes socks with no sneakers. But anyway, yesterday when it was cool, it was great. It was the first day since last winter I got to wear jeans and a long sleeve t-shirt.
it'll burn you up, right?
Oh yeah, no, it was nice because it was. And when I went outside to walk the dogs in the morning, I thought to myself, boy, am I glad I'm wearing jeans and a long sleeve T-shirt because it was cool with that breeze because it was breezy yesterday morning.
Yeah, 50-degree mornings. I don't like to fly out there. I waited until noon, and I'm telling you, it was 60 degrees, sun. The wind wasn't cold, so it was a nice change.
Yeah, the cool though, you get better lift.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah, so does that make a big difference in how you handle the plane?
Not necessarily. Some of the guys that run the gas stuff and the turbine stuff, they get into that because they get more, for the bang for the buck, so to speak, with the cooler air.
What's funny is, that you probably don't understand this, and there's other people on the net that would also understand, but there's a lot of turbine engine utilities, engines used for utilities. They use them on ships for, generating power on ships, big ships and, Navy ships. But they also use them for generating power. Not everywhere because they have certain limitations, but the ones that sit on the ground, just because they're jet engines, they work better with denser air. And we actually had, the company I worked for, they would mount on a regular flatbed tractor, trailer. It had a 3,000-ton compressor assembly. It was actually a dual compressor, and a cooling tower and pumps all on one package, so that they could just hook it up, and then they just piped in the chilled water to the inlet of the turbine engine, so it could have nice, cold, 45-degree air.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. This guy said that his jets really enjoy the colder weather, so he'll fly all year round. I'm not that person. I pack it up generally when it gets too cold.
It almost sounds funny because, to me, it always sounded funny because here you have this, a 3,000-ton chiller is not, they're not, you don't go to the hardware store and buy them. I mean, these things you have to order 6 months ahead of time, and they cost several $100,000, and they just use them to cool air to go into a machine that makes, electricity. Always seemed kind of funny to me, but it obviously is worth it, or they wouldn't do it. Anyway, that's Chris. He's in Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. And if you can't hear him real well, it's because he's got an indoor antenna, but it still does good to me, and probably has a good radius there of about 10 miles, I'm guessing. Who else is west?
Comment.
What do you want, Richard?
KI4SIB, KI4SOR. Sorry I'm late, but I'm here.
Oh, okay, well, that's not a comment. That's a check-in. What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I got an idea, but I can't say it on the air.
I understand.
Everything going well, Richard?
Yeah, everything's fine. In fact, I probably agree with whatever you said, but anyway. No, we're in good shape. Hope everybody else is in 73. I just thought I'd jump in there and say howdy. Take care. Turn it back over to you, KI4SIB.
Very good. That was Richard in Lebanon. Day late and $1 short there. He is, make sure I'm still on the air. The cat just jumped on the keyboard. This silly cat. She's a kitten and she drives me crazy. That's Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo. That's Richard and his wife Stephanie. Kilo India 4, Sierra Oscar Romeo, and just west of Lebanon. Who else is west? Well, we had almost a perfect double, except that Jack and Donaldson won. How you doing, Jack?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I can't get over that. We had 39 check-ins last net, and then I kind of look at the list. I don't really pay that much attention, truthfully, afterwards about who showed up or didn't show up. And then I look at the one from 39, and I went, well, there's several people that just weren't there that often are there, and we would have had maybe 50 if everybody, routinely showed up.
Well, maybe it'll build up over time. By the way, I heard you tell your story about the lady pulling her purse up over her face, and I got a big kick out of that.
Oh yeah, that was just. I wish I had a video of that because it looked like I was in a Looney Tunes cartoon. It was just so silly. And for anybody who hadn't heard that story, as I walked in, and I didn't walk into the Firestone dealer because I forgot my mask. So I just stood there in a doorway, and I noticed this woman 8 feet from me. She looks at me like scared to death, and she was wearing a mask, but she saw I wasn't wearing a mask. And she takes her purse, this big purse with 2 hands, and puts it up in front of her face, seemingly to stop the death rays from my nostrils or something.
That's great. You get to make that stuff up.
No, I just, fortunately, having been in the public sector so long and dealing with people, I could actually, I could just turn away with a straight face and not, not even say or even give inclination. Maybe I did and I didn't realize it, but I wanted to say, you're a moron.
Well, I enjoyed your story.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody does. I have to keep them rotated here at the house because the wife gets tired of them. Anyway, that was Jack and Donaldson Kilo Golf for India Lima Victor, and there was another double in there.
And 5 TAW, David and Madison.
Hey, David. Tell me, that's a good question. I hadn't thought about it before. I know helicopters and jet engines love cool weather, but how about regular propeller planes?
I don't have an answer for you on that. Sorry.
Well, it's just that, it has more, it's denser air, so I just presumed that, the props liked it as much as a jet engine or a helicopter.
Yeah, probably so. I know some airports in the summertime at high altitudes have problems with aircraft because of the density altitude. So, yeah, I imagine the cooler air is a little better. It's definitely more comfortable in the plane because it's not as hot.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't had a whole lot of experience in general aviation, that's for sure. But everything else going well? David?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Just want to double check. That was David, November 5, Tango Alpha Whiskey, and he is in Madison. Did get that right, didn't I?
That is correct.
For some reason, my mind, it plays a trick on me. I always want to say you're in Gallatin, and I know better.
That's the other guy.
No, I know. It's the other David. Anyway, it was David, November 5, Tango Alpha Whiskey. Good signal. Who else is, where was I? West or south? North, south, or west? Northwest or south?
November 4, Delta Kilo for Alpha Lima.
Hold on, I had a Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. Oh, yeah, very good. How you doing? Hold on one second, Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. I heard Don with a better signal this evening than I had earlier today. That's November 4 Delta Tango Juliet. No, November. I got that screwed up. November Juliet Tango in Bon Aqua. How you doing, Don?
Pretty good, man. And the brisket was awesome.
Oh, I'll bet. How many feasted at the brisket?
We just had another couple ended up showing up. The other couple didn't show up. So just the four of us. It made for a cozy evening, and I am as full as a chicken, baby.
Oh, I'll bet. But just don't get, relationally, with that, because you see how how big it gets when it gets big. Don't get like that.
I feel like it right now, but yeah, I'm about to pass out. But yeah, it was good. We got plenty of leftovers for tomorrow.
Very good. Anyway, that was Don in Bon Aqua. By the way, you're S5, and earlier today I could barely copy.
Yeah, she's with the wind, and like I said, somebody parks a semi on the hill that's between us. Who the heck knows?
Or a train. The train's coming out of the south.
Absolutely.
Very good. I think I heard Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. Is that Alan?
Yeah, hey Paul, you sound real good today. And hello everybody. Interesting, you're talking about turbine engines. P-52, some of the earlier versions before the turbo fans burned 10,000 pounds of water on takeoff, and it gave them an extra 16,000 pounds of thrust. How about that?
So they had a water injector with some kind of a nozzle, like a pumped high pressure nozzle.
Yeah, that's right. They would pump out 10,000 pounds of water in 2 minutes, just enough to get you through flap retraction. And because it was very thrust limited when you had all the bombs and stuff on the airplane. And it gave you just enough thrust to get it past that high drag profile on the early takeoff. And it would actually inject water into the intake and to the exhaust to increase they call it the max flow rate. But it's like you say, it cools the air, makes it more dense, and you can add more thrust. More fuel, which gives it more thrust. Made a tremendous black cloud of smoke, though.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, so if you had a problem with the water injection, it might, with a full bomb load, it might not make the end of the runway.
Yeah, that did happen occasionally, and there have been stories about when the water injection failed, taking off out of Guam or something, they would just dump the weapons into the ocean in order to save the airplane.
Wow. Well, nobody said that being in the military was safe.
Well, there were some commercial aircraft also that used water injection. In fact, being a turbine engine, some of the turboprops used water injection back in the early days.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. As an aside, that has nothing to do with what we were just talking about, other than it has to do with flight. And that was, do you ever wonder why? I'm sure you might already know the water that you see flowing out of the old the NASA flight, the rocket flights, to all over, the big ones, where they had the big flow of water coming out of the side of the launch site. Like a waterfall.
Down at the bottom where to sonically suppress the exhaust.
They actually used it to stop the massive vibrational effect of the main rocket engines. Otherwise, it would have shaken. I guess it would shake the whole pad to death.
Yeah, those engineers back then were real smart. On another side note, it's kind of interesting. Your call sign is very similar to one of the guys that taught me about ham radio. He was K4KEW, and heard Mark in there earlier, WB0NOO. I used to be WB0NUO, so how about that?
Yeah, that's pretty coincidental. Well, it's not coincidental. It's neat that the calls, especially, I don't think I know of anybody with an NOO call. And I'm pretty sure for Mark, that was just a sequential call number when he got it.
Yeah. By the way, I had to send this thing back to the factory. I had a lightning strike, and when it came back home to me, it was back to factory settings. So I've been spending the last several days trying to get everything back to normal. So I'll take any critiques of the audio if you'll give them to me. Okay,
the audio is a good audio. It's good in the sense that it's loud enough and the signal is good enough. It's just that it's got a soft, raggedy edge to the audio. It's not crisp and clear.
Okay, sometime when we're not on the net, I'll get with you and maybe we can tweak it. Like a dummy, I never saved any of the settings, and I'm gonna start from scratch. You know how that goes. It's like not saving your hard drive until it's too late.
Oh yeah, no. By the way, you're like at least 10 over most of the time. So your signal quality is excellent. It's just that the audio's lacking a nice audio crispness to it.
Okay, good deal. That might be the internet too. I'm gonna send you an email later for you to read. So back to that K4AL.
Now you're still doing a remote base, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to send you an email.
Oh, okay, that's good. I just want to make sure. And it's Alan Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. He is down, I think, near Watertown, and he's got a remote base here near the city of Nashville. So he's got sounds good. Good to have you in there, Alan. I haven't heard from you in a while. Who else is west or south?
Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Annie. November Delta November, David in Reedville.
Hold on, David. Can't give me too many things at the same time. I think I heard Greg, Charlie Victor Echo, and Antioch, right, Greg?
That's correct, yeah.
Right.
I used to do some flying, and these were the older, carbureted reciprocating engines, and they worked best, I believe, at what they called STP, which was standard temperature and pressure, which was like 15 or 16 degrees Celsius and 10, 15 millibars, if I'm remembering.
Well, I'm sure that's pretty close. Yeah, it's interesting that and those are just regular piston engines?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, because the performance on all of those things, I don't know a lot about it. I just know that I got to get my hands on it. My dad had a book on, it was from the 40s, 50s, because he worked for Bell Aircraft Company, and it had a list, it had all of the charts in it for how turbochargers, the turbocharged engines, how well they performed at certain elevations and certain temperatures. It was kind of a neat book. I didn't understand a lot of it, but it was an engineering book.
Yeah, I had a course that covered that, like the turbochargers and the superchargers. But that's been a long time.
Yeah, very good. Well, it's always well. I'm sure if somebody's heard me say it on the air. it's funny how when I grew up post-war, like many of us who are on the net did, and so I tended to think of everything that happened in my lifetime as being very sophisticated and better and smoother, and it's just better stuff. And then you look back at the stuff we had in World War II, and it was pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it was a huge leap.
Oh no, but they had some fantastic stuff in World War II. I mean, when you look at the engineering that went into and how quickly they put it together in such a short order, and I don't know, you give about half of the credit to the war. Well, maybe not half, but a lot of the credit goes to the engineering staffs all over the country.
Yeah, it was an amazing time.
Yeah, oh yeah, no question about it. When they can put together a 600-foot ship in 30 days, that's a lot of steel, a lot of welders, a lot of skills. Wow. Anyway, that was Greg and Antioch, but there was somebody else in there too. Please come down.
Hey, 4 and David. Foxtrot Yankee Hotel, Jonathan and Jolton.
Okay, hold on, Jonathan. What your call is Kilo? Give me that call again, Jonathan.
Kilowatt Golf 4, Foxtrot Yankee Hotel.
Yeah, it was the first three I was missing. Hold on one second. David, how you doing today?
Hello, Mr. Paul. Doing very well. Got in here kind of late. I hear you talking about aircraft, and they seem to climb. That smaller aircraft seems to climb better in cool air for sure. I have 283 civilian skydives out of them small aircraft.
Oh wow, you still doing that?
No, sir. That was in the 90s and a little later. I've quit 10 years ago at least.
Oh boy. Well, better you than me. I don't know if maybe I'd do that. I don't know. Not at my age, I'm not going to do it.
Well, hey, there's a whole lot of folks your age and my age that still jump daily.
Yeah, they don't have a will to live, David.
No, they just know it's safer than walking across the city street.
Did you saw that video where the guy jumped out without a parachute and landed in those double nets?
No, sir. I didn't see it, but now I'm not too smart, but I'm smarter than that.
No, he was from like 25,000 feet. He jumped out and without a chute. He had he had 2 or 3 partners that went out with him. And at a certain elevation, they took away his oxygen mask because he needed it from that altitude. And he landed on this, I don't know how big the net was, but I'm going to say it was, I don't know, maybe it was 100 feet by 100 feet.
Well, some are sicker than others. I'm one of the sicker ones myself. But anyway, I appreciate what you do, Paul, and carry on, sir. Good evening to all on the net.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's skydiving. I guess I'd do it. I don't know. I would have done it when I was younger, but not now. Anyway, that was David, Kilo India 4 November, Delta November in Reedyville, and I got Jonathan in Joelton, I believe.
Yes, sir. You got it.
Yeah, some things I get right. I'm a slow learner, being like I have a limited access to. I don't get out much. I used to know when I lived in Central Florida for 37 years. I knew Central Florida and particularly the west coast of Florida like the back of my hand. I never needed a map. I just went after all those years because I was out and about on projects and sales calls, etc. So I feel kind of dumb here because I know where Joelton is and I've been through Joelton, but that's it. Anyway, everything going well for you up there in Joelton, Jonathan?
Yes, sir. Seems to be going okay. Can't complain. Got a little chilly last night up here on the hill, but hey, I love the seasons changing.
Oh yeah, no. Did you have a problem? I was trying to remember. Did you have a problem with your radio last week or so?
I thought I did. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. I really don't know. Everything seems to be working fine post that. And once I remember to plug my microphone in.
Oh, maybe that's what I was remembering. I always just blame Russian hackers. I mean, it's my go-to blame.
I don't have to remember that. It works for me too.
That's right. I got to blame somebody. Anyway, it's Jonathan and Joelton, Kilo Golf 4, Foxtrot Yankee Hotel. Anybody else, please come now. North, south, east, or west?
Whiskey Victor 4 Delta, Ken and Smyrna.
See, your memory's not as bad as you thought it was, Ken.
That is correct. I was sitting here and I flipped the radio on. I got, oh yeah, there's a net.
Yeah, very good. That's Ken he is in, let me think, Smyrna. That's where he is. How you doing? Is everything going all right for you today?
Yes, sir. Been busy working on a couple problems with an automobile. Got them all done, but back in the house before it gets terribly cold tonight.
Your son is definitely going in the Army now? I mean, he's got a firm date?
Yes, sir. He does, and he's they had to delay it 2 weeks. He was going in this month on the 28th, and they're delaying it 2 weeks.
Well, again, you want to get him on the air, I'll tell him. We're on the phone. This may be the best decision he ever made in his life.
And it's a grandson.
Yeah, I think I misstated it. After I said it, I said, wait a minute, did I say grandson or son? Yeah, he's got a grandson that's going in the Army. And he's in for a nice adventure, I hope. Anyway, Ken, good to have you in there from Smyrna, Whiskey Victor 4 Delta. Who else is anywhere?
Hey, when I spitting.
Hey, how you doing there, Scott?
Oh, not too bad. Just rolled back into town this afternoon and spent a week or so over in Georgia at my son's house.
Yeah, how was the weather? It couldn't have been too much different than here.
Except last weekend, you know, it was a bucket washer there, and then the rest of the week was nice.
Yeah, well, we had some rain here as well. Not too much, though. It kind of breezed by us here in Mount Juliet. Yeah, good to have you back. I'm glad it went safe. And your son's doing okay?
Oh, yeah. Hey, did you see, where did it go? Oh, I just clicked on an article of a destroyer and what it looks like after spending 215 days at sea. Did you see that article?
No, but I know what they look like. Ours look like that.
I'll send it to you. It's pretty rough looking. All right, carry on.
Wow. Yeah, I'd love to see that. What was it under? I mean, it was just under a Navy destroyer article or some kind?
I'm sorry, say again?
And that was just under, I mean, where was it? Do you remember where it was?
USS Stout. STOUT.
Oh, yeah, I know of it. I don't know anything about it. I mean, it's one of the Arleigh Burke destroyers, but I'll take a look at that.
Good deal.
All right, very good. That was Scott in Laverne, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Anybody else, any place, anywhere? No lollygaggers, lurkers, or sandbaggers? How about just listeners? Mutes.
Donglers.
Yeah, forgot about the, yeah, I haven't mentioned the donglers recently.
End time survival.
That's right, those two. Oh, the end time survivalists. I don't know any of those, but I don't think I want to know them either.
We've definitely left them out for a while.
That's right. They're too busy with their bowfang. I'm joking. I got a bowfang, so hope I didn't offend anyone. In fact, I got an 8-watt bowfang because I couldn't hit the repeater on 5 watts. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere before we move over to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle?
KK4 UTS, Carl Glaven.
And KK4 UTS, yeah, you're number 36 tonight. How's that?
Least but not last. So I've got a few notes. Number one, so I've got an Astron power supply. And typically, I normally don't turn off the 991. I just kind of flip it from the power supply. Not good, because it's been screwing up my transmission. But I'm going to turn off my video camera here and share a couple of things. Number one, man, congratulations to your dad. Bill, AC, man, what a cool job that must have been. Okay, and then I've got some more notes. Propagation. Do you have these take notes now? Do you have propagation over there where you can tell where the signals are coming from? And I like how you called them a horror. That's a nice way of saying that. And then wait, I'm convinced that flagpole is your antenna. We talked about that before. And least but not most, the weather lady, yeah, we had a chance for my daughter to launch one of those balloons. KK4 UTS.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool, them launching their balloons. But to them, it's just a routine, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And to me, I was going, wow. And we do homeschooling, and it just kind of worked out. They were having one of those field trips, as we called it back in my day. Probably not too far from your day. And but yeah, so we went over there, and she says, you know what? Your daughter's a scientist, and we want her to come back, and she's great. And it turns out she's closer than you think. And a tornado ripped through here. But in fact, she's my neighbor, and it just God works in
yeah, no, it's a neat place up there when they're doing those launches. Like I said, it's routine to them, but yeah, the Weather Service does some neat things.
And when the bloom comes down, if you catch one, you're pretty fortunate if you catch one. All right, so the flagpole, Sir Paul, Sir Paul McCartney. I'm convinced that's your antenna.
No, it looks like a flagpole at times, but it's no flag on it, and I don't have any restrictions, so it doesn't matter. Other than my wife, but there's no problem. Nope, no flagpole.
So the one, if I'm coming 40 going east, right, and I get off at Mount Juliet, look to my left before I get off. There's a flagpole there, and I said, "That's Paul's antenna."
Yeah, I wish. I went by it a couple of days ago. One of the times I got out, it was 2 days ago, and I noticed it needed service, and they had one of those big cranes to service it. That thing is, it's 100 and something feet up in the air at the top. I mean, I don't know what the deal is.
I saw the crane myself, actually Tuesday. Had to go into Nashville and go into civilization for about 15, 20 minutes. But I did see that crane. So they're working on the pole.
Yeah, they were working on the flagpole, yeah. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know, because it's a motorized flagpole, I presume.
Wow, so you own a crane and a motorized flagpole disguising this reception that you get. Because I listened to a bunch of stations tonight. I got on here about 8:40 Central Time. And there was one station that was coming in. Oh, the guy over there who could hear somebody from Smyrna. I'm like, well, I didn't hear the Smyrna guy, but I heard the West call. But anyway, I'm not going to sit here in Babylon because they call it Babylon. But anyway, what else I have for you here? Oh, yeah. Rocket mounts and all that stuff. The best I have for you is engine and transmission mounts.
Yeah, okay, very good. Yeah, that was Carl, KK4UTS. He's also over in Gladeville. Got in a little late. We're glad you're there. All right, let me move on. Has anybody got anything to buy or sell?
W0GZR.
All right, W0GZR. Mark, what you got?
Well, sir, I've got a mobile rig I no longer need. It's a TYT TH8600 mobile dual band, $50, and it's yours.
That's a 50 water, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, is that it?
That's all I got. Oh, I got a lot of crap here, but I don't want to sell that.
All righty. What's the best contact for you?
Oh, email KA0NKM, Kilo Alpha 0 November Kilo Mike at gmail.com. Or you want my phone number?
Well, the email will be good enough, because I think I saw that on your QRZ page, and that's why you're still using your old call.
Yep.
Anyway, it's to throw off the Russian hackers, I think.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I've got a reflector set up with 8 RRL, and it doesn't seem to work. So maybe I ought to delete that and try again.
Okay, TYT TH8600 for those that may not have been able to hear Mark, but he's got a dual band TH8600. That's a TYT radio. I believe it's a 50-watt dual band radio, but you can look it up. And he's selling it for $50. So any dual band radio that's selling for $50, it's even if it's not 50 watts, even if it was a 25-watt radio, it would be a great price. Anyway, anybody else got anything to buy, sell? And his email is old call, KA0 November Kilo Mike at gmail.com. And that's Kilo Alpha 0 November Kilo Mike at gmail.com. Or you can look him up if you didn't write that down at Whiskey 0 Golf Zulu Romeo on QRZ, and it's got the same email address. Anybody else got anything to buy or sell?
What was it?
Well, we had two in there. Richard, I heard Richard and I heard Scott. Richard, what's up?
What's his call?
His call is Whiskey 0 Golf Zulu Romeo. He doesn't have any HTs for sale, Richard. Give it up.
I understand. I'll be back.
All right, Scott, what did you say?
Yeah, still holding on. We're looking for a buyer for that gap 20-meter mono bander.
The Gap 20-meter mono bander. I don't remember. How much was it?
$85 pickup.
$85 picked up. Well, you ought to drag it. If it doesn't get sold November 7th, Lebanon, Hamfest, with a tailgate fest there.
Very true. Good thinking.
Yeah, it's only going to cost you $5 to get in, and whatever you make on that antenna, you'll blow on something else.
That's right. Yeah, that's all I got right now. Thank you.
All right, very good. Scott, K1 SPD. That's Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. I think your email's good on QRZ.
Roger.
Okay, anyway, it's Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. He's got a 20-meter single band gap, very fine manufacturer antenna. Of course, it's used. $85. I don't think you'll find it anywhere even close to that anyway. Anybody else? Anything else? I will go ahead and post these to the group as well a little later. So everybody, too, there's 123 people now on the list, so increases our odds of getting something sold. Anybody else? Buy, sell, swap, or swindle? All right, we're running long here. I'm going to move over to the what do you call it? I already forgot where we're going. We're going over the 2-meter upper sideband 144.240, 144.240. And unless somebody's got something else to jump in there with, tell me now. All right, 144.240. We'll see you there. And then after that, we're going to immediately go to, if you don't have 2-meter sideband and you do have 6-meter upper sideband, just hang out for 5 or 6 minutes. We'll be there. K4 PEW, QSYing, as they say, over to 144.240. All righty, K4 PEW, Mount Juliet, Simplex Radio Net on 144.240. Taking check-ins from the south. Please come in.
Whiskey Zero Golf Zulu Romeo, Mark in Nashville.
All right, very good. I heard 2 in there. I heard Whiskey Zero GZR, Mark in Nashville. I also heard Scott, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. I believe that was you, Scott.
Sure was.
Okay. It's amazing how voice recognition comes into play a lot of the time. Even if I don't hear the call, I can tell who it is. Sometimes, not most of the time. Who else, Sal?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Antioch.
Very good. Greg and Antioch, that's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else, Sal? Over to the east. Anybody east, please come in. Over to the north. They weren't ready from the east. Who else is from the north?
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo.
Yeah, very good. You know, that little echo is more pronounced on the sideband.
Uh-oh. Well, maybe I need to talk a little quieter.
No, it's just a little more pronounced. Sounds okay. Don't get me wrong. That was Frank here in Northwest Wilson, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo. Who else is north? I'm sure Mark's in there. Anybody else north?
WB0NOL.
I told you you'd be in there. That was Mark, Northwest Wilson as well. Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar Oscar. Anybody else north? All right, over to the west.
Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, Mike in Belshire.
That signal sounds great tonight there. What are you running? A big power over there?
Yeah, 2001.
Yeah, you wish. All right, that was Kilo Mike. You are on some drugs, man. Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot, thinking he's on 2 kW, on 2 meters. And he's in Belshire. Anybody else west?
No. KG4, CXE, Chris and Dalton.
I think I heard Chris, but I also heard Delta Juliet Tango, it's N4 Delta Juliet Donna in Bon Aqua, and I also heard Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo in Donaldson. Anybody else west?
Kilo 4, Alpha Lima.
All right, I got Alan in there, and you're still, I presume you're still remote base. Is that a yes? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm still remote.
Okay, very good. Just want to make sure. I don't want to deceive anybody. That's Kilo 4 Alpha Lima, Alan, not cross banding, but remote base from near Watertown. Who else is west or south?
4, Foxtrot Yankee Hotel, Jonathan and Jolton.
All right, very good. I got Jolton in there again. That's Jonathan, Kilo Golf 4 Foxtrot, Yankee Hotel, Jonathan. Okay, very good. Good signal as always. Who else is west? To the south? Anybody south, please come down. Any place, north, south, east, or west? Did we hit east already? Yeah, but they were lousy. Is anybody else east?
Whiskey 4, Mike, uniform, Foxtrot, Eagle, Zulu, Earl, and Dory.
All right, I had 2 or 3 in there, but I got Jimmy in there here in Mount Juliet, the Whiskey 4 Mike uniform Foxtrot, and I also have Kilo Echo 4. Oh gosh, man, my brain goes south here. I mean, that's Earl. And Earl is in what you call it over there in dang, can't think of the name of the city over there near Noreen, and that's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo. What is it? Delta Echo Foxtrot?
Delta Echo Zulu.
Oh yeah, how could I mess that up? I had a brain freeze there for a moment, Earl. Sorry about that. That's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. How could I forget that? Anyway, there was somebody else in there too, south or east? Is there another station in there? South, east, north, or west? Please come down. Anybody, anywhere, last chance. All righty, we had, I think, 13 total, and this we're going to start where we ended here. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu Earl in Noreen. We had Jimmy Whiskey 4 Mike Uniform Foxtrot here in Northeast Wilson. We had Kilo Golf 4 Foxtrot Yankee Hotel Jonathan in Jolton. Alan with a remote base, but out of Donaldson. Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. November 4 Delta Juliet Tango Don in Bon Aqua, a nice signal. Also Chris indoor antenna. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-ray Echo. I'm just trying to shame Chris into getting an outside antenna. And then Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. He's in Belshire, presumably on maybe 2 watts. And Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar W. Mark here in Northwest Wilson. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Frank in Northwest Wilson. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Greg in Antioch. Whiskey 0 Golf Zulu Romeo in Nashville. And Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta in Laverne, and Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. That'd be myself here in Mount Juliet. I think that's 13. Hold on one more second. Yeah, so you don't need to know the numbers really. Anyway, good check-ins. We're going to move right over to Michael. If you're still there, if you tell everybody on 2 meters, we're going over to what do you call it? 6 meters upper side on 50.135.
Roger that.
So this is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 6 meters, coming from the south. Please come in. Anybody south, please come in.
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Antioch.
Very good, Greg. You sound good, by the way. I don't know. Is it just on the 10 meters that you have difficulties?
Yeah, well, this is a horizontal antenna. What do you do here on 6 meters? Are you horizontal?
I am also horizontal. That's correct.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I'm just lazy. I'm on the 10 meter thing. I'll take care of it someday.
Oh no, not a big deal. I just was. It's so different. You're so low on 10 meters, but your signal on 6 meters is so good.
Yeah, it's an insert antenna, around 56 feet long. That's going through the S99 antenna. But yeah, and it may be kind of pointing toward you a little bit too much because you're kind of in the low.
I got you. Anyway, I just thought to make a note of that. Anyway, that was Greg in Antioch, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is south? East, please come down.
Kilo 4 Oscar Fox Oscar.
Got you in there. Appreciate you hanging in there. We've been on here for almost an hour and a half. That was Donnie in here in south of me in Hermitage. Who else is south? All right, Mark, I got you in. You sound pretty good. A little weak, but still very, very readable. Whiskey 0 GZR in Nashville. Who else is south or east? All right, but very low audio on that stand, but I did copy it in there. That's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Anybody else east? Up to the north?
Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo.
See, I'm glad I'm not wearing headphones when you get on the air there, Frank.
I'm sorry.
I'm just glad I'm not wearing headphones because I mean I can hear you fine with on the speaker, but but you've got such a big signal coming into me. It would be scary wearing headphones.
Yeah, I understand. I've had that happen to me before.
Yeah, very good. That's Frank in Northwest Wilson. Good signal. Who else is north? Very good. We got Mark in Northwest Wilson, Whiskey Bravo Zero, November Oscar Oscar. Who else north? All right, we KN4 FAX. That's Otis in Hendersonville. I did get that right. KN4. Yes, Kilo November 4, Foxtrot Alpha X-Ray in Hendersonville. Who else is on north or west? All right, Jack, I got you in there. Readable, but kind of a low audio to me, but decent. You know, it's easy to copy. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor in Donaldson. Anybody else north or west?
KG4 CXE Kristen Dalton.
Yeah, so your signal is much bigger than Jack's. I'm not sure what the issue is there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm definitely horizontal. That's the only thing I can tell you on that. I'm putting out 100.
I think that's the reason. Jack, are you vertical on that your antenna? All right, no, I can still copy you. It's a very light signal. That's all. No big deal. We'll get through it. That's why we go on nets and we figure out how we make it all better. Anyway, there was Jack in Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Who else is north or west?
November 4 Delta Juliet Tango.
Yeah, no, you're using big power.
I don't mess around, man. Go big or go home.
Well, there you are. What are you running? Over 1,000?
Yeah, no, actually, we're at 1 kW.
Yeah, okay, very good. Because you're a big as signal as anybody else here in this Mount Juliet area.
Well, good. I get tired of this guy stepping on me.
Yeah, I know it. That's the problem with QRP, man. You get stepped on a lot. I know. Anyway, that was no Don in Bon Aqua, November 4 Delta Juliet Tango. Most people should be able to hear him with a KW or so from the west side of the west side of our territory anyway. Who else is west or south?
Kilo 4 Alpha Lima.
All right, we got Alan Kilo 4 Alpha Lima with his antennas in Donaldson. Who else? Anyway, place anywhere. We got water in your antenna there, Michael? I can only tell it's you because I can hear your voice. All right, well, I got you in there, but that's a really low audio. And I thought you were going to get those stacked on 6 meters. Is there anybody else copying Mike?
Yeah, I'm hearing him lightly.
Yeah, okay, very lightly on my end. All right, well, very good. Any place, anywhere, please come now before we close it out. All right, is anybody hearing anything at all? Please call me now. All right, I got nothing. We had another, it's funny, it's 13 on 2 meters, and we had upper sideband. We had 13 on 6 meters upper sideband. It was started the last one in was Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Mike in Belshire, Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. His systems over there in Donaldson. November 4 Delta Juliet Tango Don in Bon Aqua. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. That would be Chris in Donaldson as well. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. That's Jack in Donaldson. We got a triple hit on Donaldson today. And November, I can't even read my writing. It's horrible. It's Otis, though. It's Kilo November 4 Foxtrot Alpha X-Ray in Hendersonville. And Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar Oscar in Northwest Wilson. And Frank, Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. And then Frank's in Northwest Wilson. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Of course, that's Stan in Lebanon. And Whiskey 0 GZR in Smashville. Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot Oscar Donnie in Hermitage south of me. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. And that's Greg in Antioch. And Kilo 4 Pop Echo Whiskey, they'd be me. And that it closes it out. Unless there's any more, please come down. Ah, I got you in there. You made number 14. Good to have you in there. And that was Jimmy. Whiskey 4, Mike, Uniform Foxtrot. Good to have you in there, Jimmy. Your signal's decent. Who else is out there? All right, we got nothing. It was 14 on 6 meters, and we had 13 on 2 meters, and we had 36 on, I'm sorry, 2 meters upper sideband, and we had 36 on 2 meters FM. It's an astounding number of participants. Glad you're all there. Catch you later. K4PW.
I think I actually heard everybody on this net on 6 meters tonight.
Ah, conditions are good for 6. Do you hear it anywhere else?
Yeah, sideband, I think I heard everybody too. When 2 meter net, well, that's what it is, right? But yeah, I think on 2 meter sideband and on down here on 6, I think